Hey everyone, welcome back again to this modeling practice, aka tutorial for this maze. This video is aimed at beginners, so not full beginners as previous videos, but at the beginner, meaning I will still explain things around, but I kinda expect you to know the things that I already went through. But I will remind you all the things, just not going as deep with them. We will separate this maze for two parts. This is the first one for modeling, and the second part will be for texturing and lighting and layouting it. So just two videos. After this one, I will try to release the second one as soon as possible so that you guys don't have to wait. But other than that, let's get to it. Let's start with a new scene. And as always, on the right corner, you will see everything that I'm clicking. You can see the mouse is doing things. And if I do scale, you can see I'm pressing S. So everything you can check out there. For this tutorial, we will need two add-ons. Not in this modeling section, but the second part, I will remind you, if we go to edit preferences, we're gonna need the node wrangler, and then we are going to need the UV toolkit. If you didn't see the previous video, maybe you don't have them, and if you don't have them, let's go to get extensions. Here you will type the UV toolkit, for instance. I already have it, and you will have this install button. So you will install it, and the moment you do it, it will appear here in the add-ons. And that's pretty much it. Left corner, save preferences, and off. Let's get the modeling. I will delete everything and I will look from 1 on the right side. If you see a numpad, that's the right side of the keyboard, and on the left side it just do numbers. So right side numpad, left side just these numbers. So let's go from 1, that means front, and let's add a cylinder. So now that we added a cylinder, let's look from front, take it up. We can take it in object mode. Let's go to edit mode and let's scale it down a bit. Let's scale it like this, and I will scale it in a z-axis like this maybe. That's good. S, Shift Z, which will remove the z-axis, and do this. And now I will, in a face mode, I will take this one and scale it a bit down like that. That should probably work. And I want to say that when we are in edit mode, on the left upper corner, definitely remember to check these modes. I have vertex, edge, and face mode. So these differ in the selections. So if you don't know it, left upper corner, and it's with the shortcut 1, 2, 3 on the left side of the keyboard. The other thing I need you to look out for is the X-ray, which is here in the right upper corner. The shortcut is Alt-Z. So if you see this happening, that's also me going through X-ray. I might not mention it every time. So we have this handle. This is the handle for the maze. Let's add the steel parts. So I will add a loop, Control R, double G to slide, and go like this. I will Control R again and double slide somewhere like this maybe. Now I will jump out of orthographic view, I will go to face mode, alt click these faces, which will do face loops, and shift because I want to add something more, and alt click this lower one. This will add another loop. From this, I want to shift D, which will do duplication, and I right click so that I don't move it. I leave it where it is. Now, while it's still selected, if you can check it by pressing G and move it again, I will right click, P for separation, and I want to separate selection. Now, I want to go to object mode because I stayed in edit mode in case I wanted to do more of these. And I want to press the cylinder 001. I can do this like by clicking on this, double clicking, but it can be sometimes annoying to do it. So you can do it in outliner, which is quicker. Now I want to go to edit mode again. I want to select it all. I want to press E, which will do extrusion. Right click. Now the extrusion stays on the place, which be aware of because this can make duplicates and it can make issues with your topology. Sometimes it can make things around a lot. So always remember, if you have clicked accidental E, don't leave it there. Something has to be done with it. Now we have it still selected. So let's scale, but it's scaling badly. So Shift Z, and now we are taking it out. Let's work on the lower part. I will look from 1 and I will, with edge mode and 2, Alt select this one, S, Shift Z, and I'll just scale it like this. And I will take this one, Shift Z, and do something like this. Now I will take it all. I will take it all with Control Alt. If you look F3 and you look for select linked, so you can put this to shortcut or quick favorites. You can see I have it in quick favorites. Add to quick favorites. I have it there. So if I select one thing of this mesh, Q, select linked, I have it linked, and button 4. So if you see this happening, that's the select link. I have it in a mouse shortcut. So if you really see me doing this, that's pretty much it. And I will scale this, Shift Z again, just I scale it a bit on a z-axis. I will put it a bit up. I can see I did it a bit wrong. Yes, so let's do this a bit better. Let's scale this maybe like this and leave this like that. Let me put this up. Yes, I messed up a bit, so this is the process. Let's take this all. Let's take all these. I want this to have gap here in between. So the gap is there slightly. And I want to take this poly loop. I'm alt selecting these polys as Shift Z and scale like this. I need this to be thin, and that's good. I'll leave this be. And now let's do the upper one. Let's look from this view and let's take this loop and scale it like this. Let's go like that. Now take this poly loop with alt clicking it in phase mode and take it up like this. I will keep trying to look from the orthographic views and do something like this. Now I want to take these loops, alt selecting the inner edge mode, and I will just bevel it very close to this, very close to the handle. So let me go Ctrl B. And that's good. I like this. This is fine. And I'm gonna put the subdivision on this. So I need additional support loops so that the subdivision doesn't do just this. I need to add loops. So let me go back to edit mode. Ctrl R here. Ctrl R here. And I'm doing this manually because if I added the bevel for these, it would be too sharp. By the way, if I add a loop here, you can see it's appearing there, but it's beneath the handle. So if you want, you can hide the handle, but it's not that necessary. If you just drag and double G, it will be there. I want to add a loop here, loop here, loop here, and loop here. Now I want to go down, and I'm going to do the same thing. I want to zoom on this. So I will press the dot, which is on a numpad side next to the 0. Or I can, below escape, I have another options view selected, and I can zoom like this. I will add a loop here, and that should be fine. So let's check modifiers. If you go to the right in the branch, there's modifiers, add modifier, generate, subdivision surface. I right click, shade smooth, and I think I like this. Yes, I think this is fine. Beside this, I think this is too low. We need to add more loops. So let's go like this, add another loop here. Now let's select this, move it here, add another loop like that. We can take it all, as you can select it again with Ctrl Left or Ctrl plus L. I will just scale it. I'm not going to do too much. I'm just going to scale it like this. And I think I might need to scale this one a bit more. And I think this is fine. The other thing I want to do is, what I might want to do, I want to make this thicker. So let me go back again to this. I'll select this loop, scale, Shift Z, and make it thicker. Yes, that works much better. Yes, this is much better. Also, I will make this slightly longer. So I will just put this a bit down, and I like this much more. Now let's go to this handle, edit mode. I'm gonna go to face, delete this upper face, X faces, and I will go down, select this one, I for inset. Now I will delete this face. In edge mode, I will left click it, and I will go to F3, grid fill, which will close it, and that's what I kind of want. Now we'll go to add modifiers, generate subdivision surface, right click, shade smooth, and that's pretty much it. Now I want to add the leather parts. So let's add the leather parts. We will go to handle, look from 1, Ctrl R, move this a bit, Ctrl R again, move this like this, and now I'm gonna extrude again from this. I wanna take the thickness of the leather. So this is up to you. You do it how you like it. I will alt click, move away, Shift D, right click, P, selection, as before. Now I'm going to object mode, selecting it through the clicking, or I can go to outliner. I will take it all, E for extrusion. Now right clicking to stop it, scale, Shift Z, I'll scale it like this. I will add a loop here, I will add a loop here, and I will add a loop here, and this one I will scale down a bit. Now I will select one edge, Ctrl Alt, select linked, move it closer, Alt S to scale it, but it's Alt S is scaling along the normals as we explained before. So this time it's inflating it. You can see how it's taking this upper edge and moving it upwards. Scale would do just this. Alt S, scale it like that. And I wanted to inflate a bit like this. Now we'll take it, rotate it, Shift D, Z, because if I do Shift D, it does the rotation. Pressing the Z is locking it, and rotate it freely like that. And that's it. We have leather parts. We can take this one a bit and move it around like that, let's say. If I don't like if it's small, I can still scale it, but I will leave it like this. Now let's add the lower part. I had this ring below. So let's Shift A in a object mode. Let's add torus. R to rotate in x-axis on 90 degrees. Scale it down. Let's look from 1 and let's scale it up a bit. Now let's go to edit mode. Scale it in z-axis just to press it a bit like this to not make it so circular, and press Z. I want to be in the middle somewhat of this, and it's going inside. I think this doesn't have enough resolution, so let me just add another subdivision and right click on this, shade smooth, add modifier, generate subdivision surface, and that's pretty much it. I have it here. If you wanted to clean up, you can go to edit mode, look from 1, Alt Z for the X-ray, and select this loop, Control plus on a numpad, and just delete these. It's extra loops, but you don't have to do that. It's not visible. Also, I think I might want to scale down a bit. Let me see. This is up to you, really. You can adjust how this looks. You can scale this up and down any way you want. Just do it how you like it. But I don't want to be delaying too much. Now, let's add the big ball. Shift A, Mesh, UV Sphere. Let's move it up. Let's look from 1 again, so I can see what I'm doing. Let's go to edit mode, so I'm scaling it. And now in object mode, I'm moving it. If I do this in object mode, I have to go, if I check the N, here the right options, item, the scale is 0.6. If you watch the previous full beginner, I explained this is not a good habit. So if this happens, you always when you scale in a object mode, remember to Control A, scale. Now we have the ball. I think this is fine. Right click, shade smooth, maybe a bit down. I want this to be like this. Now let's add a modifier again, subdivision surface. And now I need to do the decoration on this upper part. So let's add another sphere. Shift A, Mesh, UV Sphere. Let's move this on a y-axis. Look from 3, rotate it, and in X, 90 degrees. Let's go to edit mode, 3 for face mode, Alt Z, X-ray, select this, X, faces. Now I'm gonna look like this. Edge mode, select these loops, F3, grid fill. You can already see I have it there, but I have it in quick favorites as well, so grid fill. Now we'll scale it all down. Look from orthographic. I'm in object mode, moving it a bit up, and not looking from the X-ray anymore. I'm gonna look like this and scale it down like this, maybe like that. Control A, scale, and I'm gonna move close. I will zoom with a dot, like this. I will rotate in the x-axis. I want this to be close to the object, going like this. Now I will add modifier, generate, again subdivision surface, right click, shade smooth. Now I get this subtle depth in here, not all around, but in here at least. And I wanna go a bit up. Yeah, I'm gonna be in the middle. Now, I want to do this all around. So the thing is, everything is in the middle of the world. So we can use the cursor to rotate around it. So in the middle of the screen, if we go up, we have on this left side, transfer pivot point. I'm gonna go 3D cursor, or we can press a dot next to the question mark on a keyboard, and this opens the options quicker. I'm gonna go to 3D cursor. I'm gonna go to edit mode of this bolt. I'm gonna Shift D, which is gonna free move, R for a rotation. Now you can see it's rotating around the cursor, and Z, so it's rotating only the Z axis, and 90. I'm gonna do this all at once so that it's one operation. Now if I Shift R once and Shift R a second time, I have it all around. So that's it, we have the bolts. And now let's do the spikes on the top of the ball. Remember to save. Always save the project. Now I want to do the spikes then. So Shift A, and we have a great object for this, which is a cone. So let's go for the cone. And before we do anything, don't move anything. If you did, delete this and let's start again. Shift A, cone, and don't move. Left corner, we have add cone, and we have options. I'm gonna go vertices for 12. Let's move this up. And scale, oh no, we have still the cursor, so let's go up in the transfer pivot point and go bounding box or median point. I think median point is by default, but bounding box or median works okay if you want to go back. And now we want to scale this. I always look from the orthographing views when I'm doing this, but it's not that necessary. I'm gonna be above this a bit, like that maybe. Again, freely, you can always adjust. Let's apply the scale. Control A, scale. Let's go to edit mode. Go to vertex, delete this upper pointy vertex, Control B, which doesn't do anything, but you can see in the lower part that we have more options. If we press the shortcuts below, you can see what they do. And I want to do V for effect. Right now it's affecting edges, so I want to switch to vertices. You can see I'm doing like this, and I'm just gonna break this. Now I will delete this face, and I will go to edge mode and close this. I'm alt selecting the edge. I'm going to Q, grid fill, or F3, grid fill again. You can write this grid fill. Now before you click anything else, let's go to vertex mode again. Right click and smooth vertices. It's gonna make it a bit more pointier. Let's look from 1, Alt Z, and I wanna straighten this up. I don't want to leave it like this. So let me just do this, drag over this in an X-ray, so I drag it even on the other side. While I have it selected, we have to scale Z and 0. That will flatten it out. And I will manually scale this, just scale, just to move it like this, to maintain this angle. Control R in the middle. Now I will scale this like that. Maybe I can actually scale this a bit like this. Remember to do this from the X-ray. If you didn't do it from X-ray, you would just select this part and it would do something like this. And you don't want that. So always X-ray on this. And let's do like this. Let's maintain the curvature. That's good. Let's go to object mode. And I want to add modifier, generate, subdivision surface. Now I can see it's doing some things below. So I will delete this loop, this face in edit mode. So delete this face. And that's pretty much it. I want to take it all, scale it a bit down, maybe like that. Add second subdivision, right click, shade smooth. I like this. Now I had this thing below it. So let's add it. So Shift A, mesh. Cylinder, move it up, scale it a bit down, something like this. As Z, scale in Z axis, move it like that. Let's see, scale it up to here, and it should be fine. Now we can hide this cone, we can adjust it later, and go back to this. So I hit it by pressing it and pressing H. You can see it here. Or you can click these eyes in the outliner. Let's go to edit mode of this, select face, eye, somewhere like this. Now let's press E, which will lock it in Z axis, so we're fine with that. Move it a bit down like that. Now let's press I, which will do the inset. Delete it with faces. Now close it with grid fill as we did before. F3, grid fill. So we can close it like this, or I have in a quick favorites. And let's go down, face mode, and delete this face. This is nice. I will go to edge mode. Press this edge loop, Control B, and I can see now that I didn't apply the scale. You can see what it does. I don't like this. So I will right click to stop it, go to object mode, Control A, scale, and now I will go back to edge mode, to edit mode, select this edge, Control B, and it works. Now it's much better. So let me do the thing like this maybe. I want to add the loops here because I will add a subdivision. So let me add a loop here. Add a loop here, add a loop here, and move this one a bit up like this. And let's see how it's going to work. Let me add a modifier, generate, subdivision surface, right click, shade smooth. And I like it. It's smooth, it's not so sharp. I will Alt H to unhide the cone. Or again, I can do it in outliner and click here. And I want to fit this cone inside. So let's go to edit mode, look from this, move it like that. And just manually add it so it feels like it's inside, so it's not so over it. And I think I like this. Now both have subdivisions. It doesn't really matter which one you connect to which one, but this one has 2, this one has 1. So if I'm gonna select this one, shift select this one, Control J. Now they both gonna have 2 subdivisions, which is fine. This is a small model and we're okay with that. Now let's fit this on a ball. So let's go like this, move it like that. I like this. The only thing I don't like is I want the origin to be below. So there's more ways to move the origin. What we are going to do is, let's go to edit mode, select everything with A, and put it above this dot, like this. Maybe a bit like that. So when we are pivoting around this is slightly below it. Now let's go to object mode and put it down inside it. This is much better. Now, the last thing we need to do to make this the weapon of destruction, we need to take this spike and copy it all around. So let's do this. But to do this, we need a help of the cursor. So let's go to this sphere, and I have this pivot in the middle, which I want this spike to rotate around. In case you don't have it, right click, set origin, origin to geometry. It will be in the middle of the sphere. Now I will Shift S, which will open a menu, and I will cursor to select it, which will move to this selection and this pivot point. And now what I'm going to do is I will use the transform around cursor again. So I'm going to go up here, select the 3D cursor, or again, we can do it with the dot next to the question mark, and we have the menu. And I will select this one and use Alt D. If you remember Alt D, now maybe don't do anything. You can move this on the right and delete it if you want to, but let me just show Alt D. And Alt D does that if I adjust anything on this part, it will adjust on the original and vice versa. They are connected. While Shift D, I can do whatever I want to it and it stays unaffected. So we are going to do Alt D so that they are linked. Now you can work with me again. Let's look from 1, select the spike, maybe let's rename it in Outliner, double click spike, so we are more aware when we are copying. Let's Alt D, which is going to do free move, R for a rotation, and Y for a rotation in Y axis, and write 45 on a numpad, which is going to do 45 degrees. You can check it in the left corner below object mode. Now let's select the upper spike again, Alt D, R, Y, pretty much again the same thing, and 120 degrees. And the last thing I want to do, again the upper one, Alt D, R, Y, 90 degrees. Now I'm gonna jump out of this orthographic and rotate this RZ in 45 degrees. Now it seems it's too large, so let me just select this upper one and scale this a bit down like that and move it in a Z-axis up. See, now everything adjusted and I don't have to be too afraid. If I need to change, I can do whatever I want in here. Let me take these three, Alt D, R for a rotation, Z for a Z rotation, and 90 degrees. Now, before you do anything, leave it like this, Shift R to repeat the action again. Let's do it second time, and now you can see I have it all around. And now if you change this upper one in edit mode, you can do pretty much whatever you want with it and it will repeat everywhere. But that's pretty much it. We have finished the model. Let's go to object mode, and I think I like this. It should be fine. Before you leave, guys, up, switch to bounding box center or switch to median point. Don't forget to do this so you don't move around the cursor. But that's pretty much it. I will try to release the second part as soon as possible so you guys don't have to wait as before. I know I had a bit of pause between releasing new videos, but I will make sure this one comes earlier so you can finish. So next time, lighting, texturing, rendering, and we will finish this. Remember to subscribe so you don't miss it and you know when this comes out. And if you want to support me, you can check out my Gumroad. You can always come to my socials and follow. This helps me as well. Or let me know, give me feedback in the comments. Let me know what you want me to do next, or how you're liking this video. If there's something I could improve, something I did wrong, or if you just generally liked it, just let me know. But this is it for this video, and I'll see you next time.